The mystical truths in religions East and West are brought to light again and made relevant for our time by Elizabeth Clare Prophet, world-renowned author and spiritual teacher.
We talked yesterday about the four lower bodies. Where do we go from here in healing?
Understanding the four lower bodies is obeying the ancient injunction, man, know thyself. And man must know himself in order to heal himself. The four lower bodies are vehicles. They are interpenetrating sheaths of consciousness. Along with these vehicles, which are referred to as coats of skins in Genesis, and notice that coats is plural and not singular, denoting that there are these four vehicles. Along with these, then, there are centers of God consciousness, which interpenetrate through the four lower bodies. The 7 major centers are corresponding to the 7 rays of the Christ and the Buddha. These 7 centers are called chakras. A chakra is a wheel, a vortex of light. Its purpose is to take in light as nourishment for the 4 lower bodies and to give forth light. The sending forth of the light is an action of alpha. The taking in of light is an action or reaction of omega. So the going out and the coming in of energies within the chakras is another balance of the Father, Mother, God within the temple. The key chakra of the temple is the heart, because in the heart is the threefold flame of life. The threefold flame of life is one with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit at all hours of the day and night. And therefore, right within this temple, upon the altar of the heart, there is burning a flame that is actually God in manifestation. It is through this flame that we can invoke the light of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit for the redistribution of energies in the temple when there is disorder or dis-ease or discord. That is the absence of wholeness. In our meditation then upon Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we visualize the I am that I am as a great sphere of white light pulsating just above our own being. Coming forth out of this white sphere is all of the energy of God that is necessary for the manifestation of wholeness. We are taught by the Holy Spirit that the violet flame must blaze through and pour through our temple to sweep it clean, to consume this cause and core of our misuse of energy in this and past incarnations. For the disciple of the new age, the one entering the age of Aquarius, who has sensed the new dispensation, the new energy, but is not quite certain what that energy is, we draw attention to the Master Saint Germain. Saint Germain is the one who comes to teach us the alchemy of the violet flame, and it is his initiation of his disciples. It is the coming of the promised Comforter. The beginning of healing is forgiveness. We then must call upon that law of forgiveness and use its instrument, the violet flame, to overcome those conditions that have caused us the karma, the negative karma that has created disease.
Does this mean that someone can use the violet flame to heal, say, the common cold?
This certainly can be accomplished. And the healing of the common cold, of course, which is a manifestation of emotional substance or an emotional disorder, comes not only with the violet flame, but with the correct balance of energies within the physical body, because it now has become physical, translated from the emotional level. And so we deal with the very chemistry of the physical body itself. Now, this subject is vast. It includes correct diet, and the uses of chemistry that are prescribed by physicians. The use of the violet flame, however, is extremely effective, and it can also deal with the problems of biochemistry within the physical body. I'd like to give you an example of the violet flame once again because it is so necessary in this age, and it really is the key to our initiation in this new energy. I am the violet flame in action in me now. I am the violet flame, to light alone I bow. I am the violet flame in mighty cosmic power. I am the light of God shining every hour. I am the violet flame blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power freeing every one. This mantra, which comes from the heart of Saint Germain, uses the name of God I Am with a series of affirmations of this sacred fire. We must always bear in mind that when we say I am, we are affirming God in me is. The energy of the I am that I am is qualified now with the violet flame by the action of the Trinity within my heart, which is God's gift to me in the endowment of my very own threefold flame. So when we say, I am the violet flame in action in me now, we are saying God in me is the violet flame in action in me now. This is a very interesting law of force fields. We are declaring that where I am, there God is. And where God is, he is the fullness of this action, this specific action of the violet flame, which is his very own being. It takes then understanding of the law and meditation upon this being of God, which is where I am, to make this use of the science of the spoken word effective. We are not absently or vainly repeating words when we give these mantras. We are entering into a very sacred science of the priest of the order of Melchizedek. It is a sacred science whereby man voluntarily enters into a oneness with his Creator, becoming co-creator with him as he is ordained to be. The mediator of this co-creation is always the real self, the anointed one, the Christ. I will give this decree again and ask our listeners to meditate upon the heart as a white sphere, and to visualize a greater white sphere above the self. Through this mantra, there is going to be a converging of the sphere within the heart that surrounds the threefold flame with the sphere that is the I Am presence. This convergence of God above with God below is the essence of our healing and our wholeness. I am the violet flame in action in me now. I am the violet flame, to light alone I bow. I am the violet flame in mighty cosmic power. I am the light of God shining every hour. I am the violet flame blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power freeing every one. You'll notice that when I give that mantra, it is a voice that is different from my speaking voice. It is God in me speaking from the very depths of my heart and my soul. I have been decreeing, of course, for many, many years, and when I open my mouth and center my energies in the heart, I am surrendering totally my temple and my being and my centers to God. And this centering allows the energy of the Holy Spirit to use my throat center. And the same will happen with our listeners as they become comfortable with the understanding of the self as being the instrument of God.
Can you tell us what's actually happening when people invoke the violet flame?
I'd like to read to you from Climb the Highest Mountain, where Mark and I have recorded Saint Germain's teaching on the violet flame. The Master says, "The violet flame is the spiritual wine of forgiveness, the quality of mercy that, as Portia said, is not strained, that droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. When the violet flame is invoked by unascended man, it envelops each atom of his being individually, and instantaneously a polarity is set up between the white fire core of the atom, which being matter assumes the negative pole, and the white fire core of the flame, which being spirit assumes the positive pole. The dual action of the sacred fire in the center of the atom and in the violet flame without establishes a force field that causes the untransmuted densities to be dislodged from between the electrons. As this substance is loosed, the electrons begin to spin more rapidly in their orbits, and by centrifugal force it is thrown into the violet flame. On contact with this fiery essence of freedom's flame, the misqualified energy is transmuted into its native purity. Relieved of the patterns of imperfection, this energy of the Holy Spirit is returned to the individual's causal body, where it is stored until he elects to use it once again in the manifestation of the noble work of the Christ on earth as it is in heaven.
Thank you very much.
This is a presentation of the Summit Lighthouse, an international spiritual organization dedicated to universal enlightenment. Founded in 1958, the Summit Lighthouse is a beacon of truth to thousands worldwide and a leader in New Thought spirituality.